No, bad coworker, bad Lisa. Howdy folks, I'm a pack of playing cards stacked with aces.
I'm Amber.
And here's some Reddit. Let's get started. Our first story is titled, "Am I a jerk for refusing to give my boyfriend my PIN after he took my credit card without my consent?" Alright. I mean, does this even need to be asked? Let me know what you think. Does this question even need to be asked? The title sounds horrible, but give me a chance to explain. OP. Already. The title does sound bad, but probably for not the reasons why you think it does, OP, because it sounds like you think we're going to blame you. But we aren't. I'm a 24-year-old female, and I've been staying with my boyfriend, Martin. You can never trust Martins. for 8 months. He's a 30-year-old male. He's super funny and sweet. He currently is out of a job for health reasons, but he's actively looking for a new job. This is our first major fight, and I'm not sure if I'm at fault here. Well, 2 days ago, we spent the night together, and he went to the store early in the morning to buy some groceries. Unbeknownst to me, he took my credit card to shop with it. I got woken up by him calling me to ask me to give him my credit card PIN number. I was confused, and I asked why, and he said that he went grocery shopping with my card and forgot to ask me to give him the PIN before he left. I got mad, and I felt quite violated. I told him that I was sorry, but I did not give him permission to go out and shop and use my credit card. He sounded confused and said he was just trying to buy us breakfast and it only cost $20. I said I was sorry, but I refused to give him my PIN number. He obviously sounded upset and asked why. I told him because he didn't consider getting my permission to take the card and use it. He said, "Alright then, I guess no breakfast for us." He hung up. I called and called, but no response. He returned and handed me the credit card back and went on to complain about how he was just trying to buy us breakfast and that he wasn't intending on making a huge purchase. I said I understood, but it's all about consent to me. He seemed pretty irritated and upset, and he said, "Fine." He left after that and hasn't returned any of my calls. He then texted me that he wasn't intending on stealing from me, and he thought that I wouldn't make such a fuss about it, and that he did get my permission when he called to ask to use the PIN. But I feel like it's just a feeling that he violated my boundaries. He's been upset since, and he says that I ruined our time together by making a huge deal out of it, and it's embarrassing to him at the store by making him return the stuff that he brought up to the register. Gosh, I feel like I was such a jerk here, but I think he could have asked first. I want to hear from you folks what you think of this. All right, folks, what do you think? Did the story change your opinion at all? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. Dude sounds shady.
They've been together for 8 months, but this was not a pre-talked about discussion where he's like, "Oh, hey, can I borrow $20? I think that a credit card's a really touchy subject. Like, you have to have a conversation about that. I think that there needs to be certain levels of baseline trust in a relationship, but 8 months is still a really young relationship in the grand scheme of things. You don't know whether or not he was planning on stealing from you, and this might have been one tiny boundary violation in a long set of boundary violations. It might start off small. It might start off being like, "Oh, can I just have your credit card PIN number? Oh, why not? Why not?" Right? And then he just takes out $100 without asking you.
And then he asks for forgiveness later.
And then, asks for forgiveness later. And then, it's $150, $1,000, At a certain point, like, maybe this time he wasn't planning on taking from you. He needs to understand that you aren't jointly sharing finances, and this was a violation of that, idea that you're not sharing finances. I don't think that you're the jerk, and I think it's better to be safe than sorry.
Well, I also like how he acts like it was a treat to buy OP breakfast with her own money.
Yeah, it's a treat to buy OP breakfast with their own money. He is emotionally manipulating you. This is all on him. He took your credit card without your consent. That is the issue here. You're not obligated to share your PIN with anybody. If it's only $20, why didn't he pay for it? Not the jerk. Can we repeat this answer for like 1,000 times? Because it's the right answer. Yeah, I do. I think that is the right answer here. In addition to the emotional manipulation, him taking the credit card to begin with was at best a lack of consideration for OP as a partner, but more likely testing what she would be okay with when it comes to accessing her money, not the jerk. Yeah, I mean, really, he could have just woken her up, asked her if he could buy breakfast for them, and that would have been a discussion they could have had at the time. You know, it doesn't matter what your intentions are, it comes across bad when you take someone's credit card without asking them. All right, our next letter is titled, If You Will Believe It. Am I the jerk for making my coworkers think that I'm married? Hello, I'm a 32-year-old female and I've been working at a law firm for 6 years. My high school sweetheart Jay died at 24. Before he died, he proposed and I said yes. I was so struck with grief that I could never bring myself to take off the ring that he gave me. Around 2 years ago, I finally moved on and chose to adopt a girl, Elle. Everyone at the firm assumes that I'm married due to the ring and the kid. One of my coworkers, C, apparently had a crush on me. I invited a group of friends from work over for my birthday and they all asked about my husband. I told them that how he had passed and it was just me and my daughter. They were all a bit shocked but didn't say any more, except for C. There's always one. There's always one. He lost it and said, "You've just been lying to us? For all these years? I can't believe you!" And stormed out. He didn't show up to work for a day because he was so devastated by this that he just could not work because OP is a dirty, rotten liar, apparently. That's not my opinion. This is just Jay's opinion. And when he returned, he didn't even look me in the eye. Hostile working conditions much. A few coworkers asked me to apologize, but I don't think I need to because you don't, OP. I'm just wondering if I'm the jerk. OP, well, first off, I'm going to ask you folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk.
I think that C is delusional. He is turning this into something that it isn't. I'm sure that you weren't actively deceiving people, that you weren't like, oh yeah, I'm married, blah, 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 right? Your personal life is your business. This guy just sounds bitter. Like, he sounds like he had a crush on you and it feels like he was deprived of having the opportunity to pursue you, right? And I think that you don't need to deal with this. And if he continues to harass you like this, go to HR. Go to HR, OP. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk. What in the world? What lie were you telling? Did anyone ask who you were married to? And if so, did you say, yes, I'm currently married? Because if not, that was not a lie. So what if you wore a ring and adopted a child on your own? You get to process your grief in your own way. Also, I'm going to be blunt here, but who cares about C's crush? You went through a very heartbreaking tragedy and had to deal with that. He was harboring a crush and thinks that you owe him because he never got to act on that since you were unavailable? That's his problem and not yours. I'm a guy, and if the shoe were on the other foot, I would never apologize. It's not your fault that he had a crush on you, and it's not your fault that he reacted so poorly to finding out that you were unmarried. In fact, I don't think he would have even been worth your time as a romantic partner because of this nice guy attitude that he's displaying here. He finds out your high school sweetheart died after proposing to you, and all he could think about was himself. That's a real jerk move there. I like this poster. I agree. This is a good one. Good on you, Noto Bologna. I don't know how to say that, and I'm very sorry. Antonio Bologna. Oh, that's how you say it. A little dyslexia there for you. This comment deserves an award. All right, our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for not waking up my boyfriend, which made him late on his first day at a new job? That's right, folks. We are going here again. I know just yesterday we had an alarm clock one, but today we have an alarm clock one. So maybe it's just deja vu, maybe you were just dreaming, but here we go. This is a throwaway account for privacy reasons. I'm a 28-year-old female and I've lived with my boyfriend, a 30-year-old male, for 3 years now. When I first stayed the night, he overslept and I woke him up. He woke up in a bad mood and after a big fight made it absolutely abundantly clear that I should not wake him up, even if I knew he would be late to meeting the Pope. His words. After I calmed down, I wrote a contract that said I would never wake him up under any circumstances short of an emergency as long as he never blames me for oversleeping. He laughed and signed it, probably with a laugh like this. I don't know why. That's the way he laughed. I kept it with my important documents. Daughter of 2 lawyers, get everything in writing, and don't sign anything unless your lawyer reads it first are the rules I live by. Fast forward to yesterday. He starts a new job, celebrated the night before playing with some guys online. He had to wake up at 7. I woke up at 5 a.m. like I usually do. Did all my stuff. By the time it was 7, he did not wake up. I left the house at 8:15 and he was still asleep. When I get back home, he was there and he was very, very angry. He started shouting at me and blaming me for being late. Said I should have woken him up when I noticed that he overslept. All I did was stay silent until he stopped shouting, and then I showed him the paper he signed. And then I said, I never woke you up and I never will. You are an adult and you can set an alarm like the rest of us. Also, you being late is a you problem, and I have no part in it. Now he's saying that I'm the jerk and I should know that the old rules do not apply since he no longer works for his friends and was lacked with time. I still think I did nothing wrong. So, am I the jerk? All right, folks, jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk.
I love this story, OP. Thank you very much for honoring and respecting that contract you wrote because he deserved that. There should have been a clause in his contract that says for as long as he works with X, Y, and Z company, if this is really what he meant. He didn't modify the contract. This is his fault. This is a contract. He signed it, and it's not your fault that he did not act like an adult and wake himself up. He's just mad because you called him out, and you did a good job of it, OP. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk also sounds like you're in a bad relationship. Yeah, I did get bad relationship vibes. The guy is 30 years old and unable to wake up for his new job, then blames his girlfriend even though it's his responsibility. Talk about a catch. All right, folks, it's tea time. Tea time. Let me know what kind of tea that you have or beverage that you have today.
Mint tea.
Mint tea for Amber. One of the Morgan had this really interesting beverage. It was a Dunkin' Donuts chocoholic pancake coffee. That sounds delicious. And Mary, she had hot chocolate, so that's kind of in the same vein. So it sounds like people are having a lot of nice and tasty beverages. So hopefully you are enjoying tea time with your favorite beverage. Let me know what it is. All right. We have the duty to do. That sounded awkward. I am not... That sounded awkward. Do not say anything about how awkward that sounded.
That sounded awkward.
What has eyes but cannot see?
A potato?
A potato. Of course it's a potato. But it's still a very silly joke.
Living in Maine, we see a lot of those.
And as Amber said, living in Maine, we see a lot of potatoes. We have a lot of spuds around here. One might even call us the Idaho of Maine. What can be right but never be wrong? All right, a right angle. And I had to do a second one just because Amber knew the answer to that riddle. And we have to have stumping super silly riddles here.
I was going to say a right turn.
A right turn.
I guess I could be wrong because if you don't mean to go right.
Amber has a valid point. If you take a wrong right turn when you were not intending on taking a right turn, that was wrong. All right. So, my tea is licorice spice. An annoying slurp in the microphone. So hopefully you enjoyed that slurp. Hopefully you enjoyed that tea time. And let's continue on. All right, our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to Answer to a Nickname That I Don't Like? I am going to make a guess here. What do you folks think that my guess is?
Not the jerk.
Amber says not the jerk. Oh, am I going to go with Reddit or am I not? We'll find out at the end of this. Throwaway account and fake names. I don't think that I'm the jerk here, but one of my coworkers does, and we both follow this Reddit, so we're letting Reddit decide. I'm a 28-year-old female, and I was named after a really obscure character from Greek mythology. My preferred nickname is taken from the end of my name. I always introduce myself with I'm blah name, but you can call me blah name. None of my coworkers in the small business that we work for have ever had a problem with this before. Until Megan, a 25-year-old female, the niece of Jeff, a 50-year-old male, one of the two owners, was hired. Jeff and Dave, 50-year-old males, co-own the business, but Dave does the actual day-to-day running of the business. I introduced myself by my nickname as usual, and she immediately said that Bessie, not my actual name, would be a better nickname because it comes from the beginning of my name, and she liked it better. Well, tough noogies, you don't get to decide what someone else's name is. I told her that I really didn't like that nickname, and I wouldn't answer to it, and asked her please not to call me Bessie, but she insisted that it was so much prettier, and that I just needed to get used to it, as if you never possibly considered that as a nickname, OP. That's insulting. That's downright insulting. For the next 2 months, she tried to call me Bessie, but I completely ignored her whenever she addressed me that way, even when I knew that she really needed help with something. She would call my desk by the phone and say, "Hey, Bessie." I would reply, "You have the wrong number. There's no Bessie here," and hang up. She then tried to get some of the employees outside of the office to start calling me Bessie, but I quickly shut that down. I usually finish my work early and help them with a lot of tedious little things that aren't part of my job, but I threatened to stop helping them unless they used my preferred nickname. I love how OP's here like, "Look here, folks, I can do this. I'm going to use my nickname. Do not try me. I will not help you." Friday, she decided that she was going to get me to respond to Bessie no matter what. What is up with this? What is wrong with her? Why is this so important that she just cannot let it go? Why this hill? This is not the hill to die on. We have an open office design, but are at opposite ends. She starts calling out Bessie in a sing-song voice over and over again to try and annoy me enough to respond. Other coworkers get annoyed. Most tell her to stop. One, Lisa, a 43-year-old female, is telling me just to let her call me Bessie already. No, why is this on you, OP? Why is that your stubbornness you need to give in, but her stubbornness of the situation is more important? No, bad coworker, bad Lisa. I refused, and she kept calling out Bessie louder and louder until Dave barged in. He'd been on a conference call with an important client and could hear her yelling from his office down the hall. He told her to be quiet, and that if she called me Bessie one more time, he would write her up and dock her pay. Good on him. Good on Dave. Later, Megan cornered me in the break room, calling me a jerk for getting her in trouble, and called me Bessie again for good measure, just as Dave was walking in to heat up his lunch. Bad move. Very bad move. He gave her a stern look and said, "I warned you." Then he walked to the HR to have her written up. Lisa says that I'm the jerk for never helping Megan, and that if I had been nicer or hadn't fought her so hard on the nickname, she probably would have given up on it a while ago. But because I made such a big deal out of it, it became a challenge. So Reddit, am I the jerk? So it's your fault that she didn't wear you down, OP, right? All right, folks. Can you guess what my original guess was? My original guess was that she was not the jerk. But let me know what you think. Did this letter change your mind? Is she a jerk or not?
Not the jerk.
I mean, this is ridiculous. You are not obligated to respond to a nickname that you do not like. Under no obligation. If that was the case, I would have had to respond to some very bad nicknames in middle school, which I did not respond to. So no, I mean, you get to choose what you want to be called, right? That's just basic human decency. You know, if you don't like your name, people often choose nicknames, and you go by those. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's no reason why you have to have one name or another if you're more uncomfortable with a different name. Some people go by their middle name. Some people go by the first few letters of their first name. Some people go by completely different things. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be related to your name. Just choose what you like to be called, is my philosophy. So yeah, no, OP, you're not the jerk. Hopefully she'll learn her lesson. Anyhow, take care and good luck. You're not the jerk. You established a boundary, and her determination to break it is going to keep getting her in trouble. Yes, I agree. This is straight up bullying. Exactly, not the jerk. And OP set that boundary as soon as she met Megan, and Megan refused to respect it from the start. So I'm wondering how Lisa thinks that OP is the jerk here, and how helping and being nice to Megan would have stopped this. It would not have. Megan sounds like a mean girl who thinks that she's untouchable because her uncle, and if OP had responded to the nickname and helped Megan out every time she needed help, why would she have stopped using the nickname? Exactly. The only thing that I think is going to stop her in this is actual consequences of her bad behavior. Yeah. Alright, folks, that is all the time that we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a like. And if you didn't, consider giving me a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
He says that I should have woken him up.